So we took them apart. Now we need to put them back together. Don's clubs from Michigan are ready to go home, and we're going to tell you how we did it. Welcome back to the golf shop. Jim McCleary here, and we did a video on taking apart a set of old Hogan Edge Pros, and it's in one of these two corners. I always get them messed up. Anyway, in the process of figuring it out, we realized that the shafts were, well, jacked up. And so we talked to Don, and he agreed that we put in some different shafts. And the whole idea was that we were going to, show you how they all go back together in some sort of fashion. So in between losing a little bit of time because we had to order another set of shafts and getting them out of here, I compressed it for you. Okay, so in the beginning, I believe we've even done this before in one of these places. We'll go with this. Let's see, my left hand maybe. Anyway, we talk about spining and flowing, and that's what I did with these. So we weighed out everything, right? We weighed out the heads, weighed out the shafts, weighed out the grips, make sure there wasn't anything out of whack. And we found one. We found that the F wedge and the Alphabet Hogan wedges, the F wedge was about 10 grams light. So we put a 10 grammer in there and away we go. Now, put them all together, spine and flow, we glued them, used a different we used a different ferrule than what came initially to give it more of a classic look. It was the 3/4 inch collared ferrule because these does have shoulders in them. And then so from there, what we did is we decided, well, we're going to, we finished the ferrule, which you should be seeing hopefully. We finished the ferrule, measure the length twice. It's just like a good carpenter's rule, right? Measure twice, cut once. And these were 1 inch over standard as he requested. Now we didn't have to extend any golf clubs, so we're good to go there. And so they're 1 inch over standard. And now that we didn't have to extend them, it's going to be a much more solid shaft. We're also leaving from the Dynamic Golds and going to the KBS 105 Tours. We picked the 105s because we wanted he's a fairly aggressive swinger, he says. However, even at 1 inch longer, these things would be sledgehammers. And he's at my age or even a little bit older, and even if he was in phenomenal shape, they would still be very, very heavy. So we went with the 105s with the inch over. And so once we got them measured, we went and we cut them. And we use it on it's basically a mounted grinding iron, angle iron, whatever you want to call it. And we cut them there. Then once we get done with the whole entire set with that, then we put them on the belt sander to get any of the rough edges off, because there's always going to be that little bit of rough edge no matter how you turn it. And we get rid of the rough edge, and then we smooth off the end so that we're right back to where we started. Then when we get all done with all 10 of them again, we take them over to the gripping station where we start putting on the tape. Now the tape's important in the fact that it's got to be smooth. So after we put the tape together, then we got to put on the grips, right? And I use the solvent method, and what I learned as a technique is instead of, some people will tell you use a T to block the weep hole on the butt end. Just use your thumb, and then you can use it to disperse the solvent across the grip to make it slippery. And then you should be able to just slide the thing right on and not have a whole lot of touching that's going on. And we do that, and the real trick is to see just how much you get on your hands. It's a real testament to see how good you really, really are. Okay. Then once we get done with that, then it's about making them look good. And we apply the labels. And we apply the labels in such a fashion so that they look uniform when they're going up and down the set. So if you're using a step shaft, pick a shoulder, right? If you say after the first shoulder, then on the flat, that's when you do it. Do them on all, and that gives them that uniform look. The other thing is, before you put them on, like anything else, you want to wipe it down just in case there's solvent on it. Because if there is, it won't stick, and you just wasted a sticker. And if you don't have any extras, then it's going to look bad. So once you get all that on there, then I apply a coat of car wax to the whole entire thing except for the grip, and we make it look good. Then the final bit was loft and lie adjustments if needed, and found out that these things were all over the map again. So I called Don yet again. Turns out he was at work, and he actually answered, so that's cool. And he said he just wanted standard, so we looked up some specs. You can actually find it on the internet. And we bent, we loft and lied, and now everything is in sync. So the flexes are good, the swing weights are good, the weights are good, the loft and lies are good. So this club is going to look good. And finally, what we have is we do the, I like taking pictures of the work. We put it on the other social media platforms so that we can do that. And that's what you see me setting up right here. And then the last but not least is cleanup. Whenever you get done with a job, you get there, you make a mess, and it's time to clean up. It's not the most sexiest thing out there, but it's part of the job, and that's what you got to do. So as I go to clean up, guys, hopefully you liked everything that we talked about in the Ben Hogan stuff. If you got any questions, put them in the show notes, and I've got to go get cleaning. Oh, and let's see your scores go low.